Okay, good. We're recording. All right. So Artemis is our card today that we drew. And we are always protected and safe in divine love. And it's really cool that that card came up because the third thing that we're going to be talking about is activate your spiritual awareness and use your gifts. And a lot of that comes from already, and so does the first one, how to stop. So here's what we're talking about today in the truth and healing of your body, mind, and spirit. We are talking about, let's see, how to connect. Sorry, you guys, I do these all the time. I just change the names and stuff and to focus on other material. How to connect to and use your natural spiritual gifts. And so we're going to talk about the truth to healing your body, mind, and spirit, which is really part of this Artemis. And I'll get into that in a minute. And then we're going to talk about how to stop negative thinking to reach your soul and activate your spiritual awareness and use your gifts. So when we think about this, the guardian, and that we were already loved and saved, us and our loved ones, and that we're spiritually protected, how does that make you feel? Is that something that you believe? Is that something you don't believe in? So as we move through this, I hope that you will find clarity. Did somebody want to ask a question? Then I'm going to mute the lines. No? Okay. I'm going to mute the lines just so that it could be a little bit more smooth. Okay. We are letting Joanne in. I didn't realize she was there. Okay. We're still letting people in here. Okay, everyone. Looks like if somebody sees that there's somebody waiting, please let me know. Joanne, I would make you my co-host on here, except for I don't know how. So I'm going to leave you unmuted, Joanne, in case you need to tell me that somebody's waiting if you see it. Okay, everyone. We have a special little thing at the end, and Joanne's just a lovely, lovely friend and colleague. There she is. Okay, so we are starting to talk about, as we said, hold on. It's interesting, everyone. Thank you for bearing with me for letting people in and talking. It gets a little confusing, like a real show here. Okay, so the truth to healing your body, mind, and spirit. As I pulled this card, Artemis, it literally is about your awareness and who you are and your divine alignment. So I'm going to tell you what my truth is. I always ask everybody to listen to what their soul says. Don't believe anything that doesn't feel right to you, but ask yourself lots and lots of questions. So we are infinite spiritual beings. We are the creation of the divine, creator, source, God, whatever the name is that you've given it, that's it's the same divine energy. And so we are of that 100%. If God was here on earth as a human, he would not experience the things that most humans experience. And so when we put ourselves in that awareness, in that openness, in that expansion of consciousness, what does that look like for you? Does it look like you can move around smoothly throughout your days in peace and harmony? Does it look like you could create your life in peace and harmony, or however you want to? Use your free will. Free will is one of the only gifts that we have on this planet that's naturally ours. And most people don't realize that free will is one of those aspects that we can rely on. I'm going to give you just a little bit of a, a piece here where I used free will even recently. In April, I was diagnosed with breast cancer with many tumors. And I go into a breast MRI next week to show that they're all gone because 2 months ago they were 85% reduced. So what I did in this healing is I just felt inspired to have a conversation with God. And how I do that is I go outside and I just talk. And in that talking, I declared a new piece of my soul to come to me so that I could have this amazing healing. And in that, I'm using my free will. I'm demanding a piece of my soul. And within 2 days, my whole life changed. Everything started to heal. People came into my life that I asked for to help with this healing. Everything. It's been pretty remarkable, and it's only about 4.5 months, not even quite. So this is why I know for a fact, I've been healing my entire life. I know for a fact that we have this ability within us The truth to healing your body, mind, and spirit. It's knowing who you are. It's knowing exactly who you are. You are an infinite spiritual being in a human body, and you have the joys and the blessings of creating greatness. The reason I talk a lot about self love is because self love is the avenue, the conduit that supports us in this human spiritual life. Self love is actually, when you get down to the brass tacks of it, self love is you and it's your divine intuitiveness. It's about you getting back to loving yourself the way that you were not taught how to do from the moment you were born. And it's no one's fault. Our parents were young. Our parents hadn't raised a brood of kids to know what was right and wrong for the next batch. Our parents usually only have one string of kids come along. It's not like they're experts at this. So the gentleness, the divinity, the love into you, doing your ritual practices or your routine practices, whatever your interior wants to call it, is very vital to your daily experience. And as we get further down, we're going to talk a little bit about the mindset and about how we can stay within that area, that zone. Um, Literally, any questions before we move on about the truth of healing your body, mind, and spirit? Was it pretty clear that when you are consciously open, consciously aware, asking for support, not begging? See, the difference between prayer and meditation and prayer and what everybody else does is we don't beg, we don't plead. We talk as an equal to our to God, to Creator. Literally, we don't beg. If I do this, will you do that? I'll be the best girl I can if I could have this healing. No, we have to already understand that we are there. Do you see the big leap? It's from like kindergarten begging, please, can I have a cookie, to a grown up, I'm taking that cookie, it's mine. So there's a difference in our elevation of our awareness that we need to grow into. So the next topic is, and we'll start to move all of these intertwined together. How to stop negative thinking to reach your soul. Guess what's stopping us? It's our programming from when we were born and all the things that went on through society and newspapers and teachers and Girl Scout and Boy Scout leaders and everybody like that that has influenced our life. We've taken that on. That's been part of our education. So we go back in and we review everything in our experience in our life, what we want and what we don't want to keep. And we remove the things that we don't want to keep. And we keep implementing and honoring the things that we do want to keep within our body, within our mind, within our spirit. And it's very, very important to do this. It becomes a practice, not just once a day or not just once a month or once a week, but it becomes a continual practice. Cease, pray without ceasing. So that means you're in a continual spiritual space when you do it without ceasing, when you clear your mind. How do we clear our mind of negative thinking? And yes, it does affect our soul because we're not allowing our soul to project, to do what it wants to do, what it was meant to do here with us. You know, we are one, this beautiful body and the soul. And so listening, getting to that place of listening what your soul wants is very important. Until I started on self-love, I didn't know what my soul wanted. And I was raised metaphysical. I've always been a spiritual girl. So these are kind of hacks or breakthroughs that I've discovered as a teacher for years that'll get us into the places that we most want to go quickly. There's a mindset tool that I teach that I think is very valuable for this in particularly. Set your alarm 3, 6 times a day, whatever works. We start off with 3 so that you don't overwhelm yourself. And it's not about um, setting your alarm 6 times a day. It's about literally stopping the 3 times, the 6 times, whatever you decide for yourself, stopping and asking yourself, what am I thinking right now? Is it good? Is it supportive? Was it negative? Was it harmful? How does my body feel? When we ask questions, we receive answers if we're earnestly listening. So in that moment that you stop and you recognize that you've been thinking about something or fighting with somebody or whatever the story is that you don't want to be a part of, You change it in that moment. Even the awareness of, I don't want to think like this, I don't want this experience, is the first steps. You have to know what you want in order to move forward. And that's a really beautiful space. So if you do it 3 times a day, you will find that you are catching yourself not thinking what you want. And this is how we train ourselves. We literally are training ourselves to remove the negativity and bring in the positivity. Now, everyone is at a different state, a different level of their own awareness, their own happiness, their own joy, their own love. Excuse me. We all want to be at the same place, and that's okay. It's not a race, it's not a game, it's an individual quest. So keep your do you remember your teacher saying, keep your eyes on your own paper, everyone? So literally it's the same thing. Keep your eyes on what you're doing. That's the most important thing. I'm not sure where or how we got confused in life watching others do what they do so that we could imitate instead of be the unique individual beings that we are. Now, when I was saying that there's different levels and different states that everybody is at, if you are very not, it could be confused, it could be very unhappy, it could be very depressed, very low. Let's start at the low point, because there are people who go through this right now during this time. If all you can think about is something sweet and lovely, like puppies or kitties or bunnies, and that makes you happy, then put yourself in that place. Change what you're watching on TV, change what you're reading to something more empowering, something that supports you, something that makes you laugh, something that makes you feel love. And in so we're switching and we're moving around all these little pieces and parts one at a time to gain where we want to go. And it's not an overnight thing. And if it is for you, fabulous, that's amazing. But it is a step by step process. Now, if you're not in such a dire state, you'll know what to do to raise and elevate yourself. The same stuff: music, dancing, focusing on joy, your spiritual awareness, your spiritual growth, the magnificence of who you are. All of that is how we raise our happy zone, our happitude. I just made up a word, happitude, like our altitude, our happitude. And so we want it to be at a place that's right for us. People see me and they say, you're always so happy, Mia. And I'm telling you guys, ask me, is that the truth? No, I'm not always happy. I'm a grumpy bitch sometimes. But I do this work because it makes me happy. I've been doing this work for years. Why? Because I wanted to be a different person. I had such abuse as a child, beauty and abuse. And so from there, I realized I didn't want to, from a very young age, I'm older than I probably look, but I started at 24 and I've been at this for 33 years. So literally, as we move through this, we gain so much from our spiritual awareness, our happitude, our looks change, the texture of our face changes. Why? Because we're happier and more joyous and we're not stressed out holding stress lines or things like that. So this is all part of the stopping the negative thinking. So when we're in that space of negativity, of anger, of exhaustion, of sickness, what are we thinking of? We're not thinking of what our soul's purpose is. We're not moving into the space of joy and love and all of that. So take that into your awareness, mix it around with your morning coffee or hot lemon water or tea when you're getting ready in the morning, and literally think about this. I want to set my alarms. I want to look at life differently. Do this, and you will literally see things change. This is one of the tips that I give my private clients that's very powerful and is extremely life changing. Practicing or activate your spiritual awareness to use your gifts. Everybody has gifts. I just want to tell you, everyone has these gifts. Why? Because we are these spiritual, beautiful beings. We have a soul. There are 17 gifts that are at least recognized in the English language of spiritual abilities. And not all of them we can do on this planet, like being telepathic. That's a conscious activity for conscious planets all over. Sometimes we have a closeness with somebody that we feel we have a telepathic or a telepathy type of relationship. Honor that, but understand that it's not universal because most people aren't consciously aware. Things like tarot and divination, those are also, even though they're lined up in the psychic abilities, are not considered really psychic. Although when I so I want to explain the difference. So when you guys saw me pull this card, now I know one of the reasons why I was told to do this. When you guys saw me pull the card, what I did was I got quiet, I tuned in, and I felt the energy come through my hand over the cards when I felt them. I could feel it and I pulled it. So in some respects, that some people might say, oh, you're just pulling cards, that's nothing. But because I'm actually focusing in on the divinity of it and who and or what is asking me to be pulled, that's how I find that. And it's interesting how they seem to pair up with people very smoothly. So if you are a channeler like me, clairvoyant, and I also, as I said before, the oracle part, it's literally about being able to be the seer of a lot of different things. And whatever your ability is, it's beautiful. Use it, nurture it. Don't be afraid of it. Ask questions, grow it. In this practicing of these spiritual gifts, the number one thing that I have found, and I've been practicing energy since I was a little child. When I was 7, I remember us moving into what we called the big house. And my parents got married, and my father adopted my brothers and sisters who were my mother's children, and we all moved in together. And at that point, I used to work energy with my eyes closed, walking around the house, energetically feeling where the doors or windows were. I didn't know why I was doing this. I assumed maybe one day I would be blind or something because it was such a powerful thing that kept coming to me to do. So if you have things that are coming to you to practice, don't be afraid of it. You can even ask, where is this coming from? You don't want to do things just because haphazard. You want to be aware where you're being guided spiritually to move into. And that's why practicing self-love is the key to the awareness and divine alignment. Why? Because we're bringing our love of self, our love of divinity through our own bodies, reconditioning and parenting ourselves from the things that we heard growing up. You're stupid. You're not as smart as your brother. You can't do that. You're a girl. You're a boy. So stop crying and grow up. All of these were ridiculous, ridiculous comments. And I'm sure that as parents, at one point or another, we might have even said that to our children. So just be aware that this is a repeat, like a regurgitation of crap. That's not how we really feel or think. Because if we are in the place of love, we don't want to hurt anybody. We don't want to be negative. We don't want to spread that around. So if you think about that, for some people, this is the beginning-ish states of deep love and a deep love affair with themselves. And I know that publicly, if I wrote that on, say, Facebook, I'm going to teach you how to have a deep love affair with yourself. Most people wouldn't understand and they'd say, what are you talking about? You know, when I first started teaching this 12 years ago, literally people used to write me and say, is this masturbation? And I'm like, no, why would I be teaching self-pleasure? That's self-pleasure. This is not self-love. So there is a difference, a divine difference that we need to understand as humans. And love of self allows us to see how magnificent our journey is. And that puts us into alignment. The reason I brought up maybe children and parenting is because we're not only reparenting ourselves, but we're reparenting our children, our friends, our loved ones. We're treating them with the kindest, most loving aspect because that is who we are. And in that space, everybody grows and elevates to a divine nature. When we're out of the negativity, where do we go? We go up into the optimistic, positive state of being, the higher levels of vibration. And self love is also the place that allows us to have this high vibration of frequency so that our spiritual elements can flow through us divinely. This is what, as alchemists, many of us believe that we're alchemists. We can change things, we can move things, we can heal things. This is what the alchemists are seeking. Self love with a divine flair is what the alchemists were seeking. It is the gold, it's the magic, it's the fountain of youth, literally. And each and every person has that within themselves. You just have to untap that, or uncap that magnificent geyser that's in you and allow it to flow. I want to bring up something special here because this is not going to be a really long talk, but I introduced briefly Joanne. She's right here in front of me on my screen. Now, I've never said her name out loud, but it's Edimus, correct? No, I didn't say it right. Okay. How do I say it, my love?
Erasmus.
Erasmus.
Yeah.
Which is even cooler. It's beautiful. So would you like to tell a little bit about who you are and where you're from? Besides that you're my friend and that we're colleagues.
Okay. I am from the northern part of Canada in Yellowknife. It's cold. We're in winter right now. I'm Indigenous to the land here, part of the Dene Nation. And I have been doing this kind of work since I was a little girl as well. Same as Mia. I would practice with my grandmother was like this, and my grandfather was a medicine man, and my granny was also, she worked with medicine, and so she would teach my cousins stuff. And then my older cousins started to work with us, and my older sister started to work with me. So when I was younger in school, my sister lived away from us in another city in other part of Canada. And so I would phone her until I have a test, because I didn't talk to my mom about this stuff. My mom didn't do this kind of work. This is on my dad's side, mostly all on my dad's side. And so I phoned my sister and I'd say, oh, okay, I need help with the test. She'd say, okay, so you practice on your end. And then when, at the time of the test, I'm going to be on this end over here, and I'm going to channel into you. And then we're both going to work on that test, and you're going to pass that test, and you're going to get the messages. You're going to remember everything you studied. It's going to be like you could see it. So we practice different little things. And I don't know all the names of everything that I practice, because I've never really looked into the dictionary to say, oh, okay, I can do clairvoyant. I'm a seer. I don't use that kind of language.
Yeah, okay? It was intuitive to you, naturally.
Yeah, it's there. I don't have I haven't sat down and said, oh, I can do this, I can do that. Because it's continually developing and getting stronger. And now I do healing. I use my hands and I do it by distance. And so now that I'm really focusing on it, it's getting stronger and stronger. So we're going to do some work together. Me and we're going to do some work together with women. And I don't know if we're going to invite men.
You're allowed. You're allowed to, Ken.
Yeah, so I think it's great if we can invite both men and women. I'm excited. I'm excited about the work. Yeah. It's going to be great. It's going to be I don't know. We're going to uncover all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Lots is going to come out.
Yeah, Joanne and I are working on this behind the scenes, but here's the overall thing. It's going to be from about the first or second week of January through the second week of April, and we are going to this is open to us here, this is open to the Dene people, and it's about energy. We're working our spiritual gifts and our energies together. So we wanted to share that. Just keep your eyes out for the Unconditional Love program, and It's going to be amazing. It's going to shock you guys. It's it's part of working. I'm offering it to people who are working through my programs and stuff. So is Joanne, and then we're also making it available to the Denning people. So this is going to be really powerful and beautiful. And when I work with people energetically, I work on large farms to triple the produce that grows off of one seeding. And I also work with weather, hurricanes, fires, bringing rain, moving the rain in hurricanes. And so I'm going to be teaching this. Joanne and I are going to be working each session with people through. We're going to be spending more than 15 minutes just on the energy work. And then the rest will be the spiritual. And then we're going to have a celebration where we're going to do this everybody together of what we've learned, like a culmination of party, a celebration. And of course, it'll be online because we're still in lockdown and not everybody can fly here and there. I will probably be flying up to Joanne if I can get, if Canada is open. We've talked about that, but it'll be a fun thing that we can have on screen together where we'll be there. And it might be open to other people to come and join us if they would like. So we just wanted to share that now because we're going to start to introduce it soon in a couple of weeks, and just wanted you guys to have a feeling and a flair. And what that does is it teaches us that we can literally create anything in our experience. When we work outside of our physical bodies and do things for the planet, for Mother Earth, for Gaia, we get so much back in return. And so that's the magic of this. And it's interesting, like Joan was saying, she used to do a lot of things as a little kid without even naming it. She knew it. And same with me, I didn't know what they were called until I started teaching this formally. Then of course I had to, know what the terms were and all that, but it's going to be really beautiful and powerful. So what I want to ask, because we do have some time here, and do get me, guys. I'm here for like the next month while I'm filling one of my programs, and I would like to come and talk regularly more, but ask me questions. That's what I'm saying. Use me now. Use this time to ask any questions that you have, any processes, how to do something, anything. I'm here for you. So if anybody would like to ask, that would be really great. Or if you wanted to ask Joanne a question or whatever, we're here for you. I do want to say, while you guys are thinking on what you want to ask is, please go to the treasure trove on my homepage. So miasaenz.com is the treasure trove, or it's womenmakingmiracles.com is the treasure trove. Same treasure trove, same way in. You can enter through Women Making Miracles or through miasaenz.com, whatever you feel more comfortable with. And in there is a resource site of self-love tools. Literally, I give everything that I give to my high-end clients. I give it away for free. I keep adding stuff to it. To work with us, that's different, but just take the info and go, play with it, move with it, enjoy it, love it. Okay, any questions? Anyone have any questions on the truth to healing your body, mind, and spirit, or how to stop negative thinking to reach your soul, how to activate your awareness to use your spiritual gifts, or anything about self-love or spirituality?
I love your meditation that you've done with us with, I don't know if you're counting the breaths or if you're counting when you're telling it to us, but it's when we're breathing in what we need and breathing out what doesn't serve us anymore. Yeah. That I really love when you walk us through that. That is so powerful. And I'm trying to practice it for myself. But of course, it's different when you walk us through it. So I wanted to tell you that it's such a powerful, powerful meditation. And then the sound bath meditation that we did.
Yeah.
I had a full Kundalini experience.
Yes.
Right?
Okay,
I did.
So I'm going to do a little process for us. I'm going to take us through what Joanne was saying on the, I'm going to give you guys the sound bath because it's very powerful. So Joanne, were you talking about where I do it in the shape of a box to reset the nervous system, or are you talking about when I take us into the process and we're breathing in the words and feeling
taking us into the process?
Okay. All right, I'm going to give you guys a little process, and then we're also going to have a close out with a beautiful sound bath that is incredibly transformative. Okay, so let's close our eyes and get comfortable in our chairs or in the bed and begin to feel the fabric underneath you. And let's breathe in words that will support our body. We're going to do a body healing here. And so let's breathe in divine love. Feel it, breathe it in, push it down through your diaphragm into your lower belly, and watch a golden wave remove everything on the exhale that isn't loving out of your body. Let's breathe in wisdom all the way down through the diaphragm to the lower belly, and watch that golden wave remove anything that isn't wise from your body. On your exhale. Beautiful. Let's breathe in clarity. We want everything clear. Let's push it down through our diaphragm to our lower belly, and exhale on the and release on the exhale anything that isn't clear. Okay, I'm going to do a little body scan here for each of you. Give me a few minutes and I'll go down the list. The word breathe, breath, breathe more came through for Joanne. Okay. That's good. Ken, scanning Ken. Beautiful. I see a lot of love in Ken, and I also feel like you need to verbalize your words. I'm not sure if that's clear, but you have a lot to say. You have a lot of inner wisdom. Okay, next one.
Thank you.
Laura. I'm smiling. I'm at Laura's face here as I'm scanning. I know Laura very well. She's a client. Relax, relax. Beautiful. And as I'm doing this, I'm also pushing the energy into you guys of love. Nanda. Mhm. There's love there. There's also I don't know if it's timidity, if you're shy. Not that it's bad, it's not at all. I'm just saying what I'm saying as they come up. Nicole, health and wellness and love in your recovery. Just relax. Pain is fear, and it's not a part of you. When you remove the fear, you allow love in, and healing flows through. Yes, and you're on your way. And Philippa. Such gratitude, such beauty I see. All right, stay in this quiet space, and I am going to get the sound back going. didn't have it ready because I didn't think of doing it until Joanne said this. So I'm opening it up. So this sound bath came from David Kennett. I adore his work. It's incredibly powerful. It always either sends me on an astral projection or some kind of very powerful advancement in when I do this. So I really hope you love and enjoy this like I do. It came from the Health and Beauty Hack Show. Okay. All right, here we go.
Her blood changed to show that she was no orphan, and she's been.
It's very exciting. Okay, you're going to give us a super duper big treat here. So just relax, everyone. Okay, great. All right, everyone, just relax either in your chair or if you're laying down. Feel the fabric underneath you and just melt into your bed or your chair. And as the sound comes, bring it into you, into your most inner deep space, and just listen and have it heal your body. And thank you, David.
Thank you. If you have headphones or earbuds close by too, I recommend that. It sounds a little better. So having an intention, you might wish for optimal health, optimal immune function, any body system, gland or organ, maybe just focus on that part of the body and have this intention of balancing, optimizing for yourself and your well-being.
I want to just say before we begin that the word wish is not tangible. The word desire is, because we can wish and have it go right by us, but we're desiring it and attracting it to us. So remember, words have intention and purpose. The Four Agreements is the perfect book to read on that. And here we go.
Yes.
All right, as you guys are able to gently come back to me and open your eyes. Ken, what kind of an experience did you have? I'm curious.
I just experienced a state of kind of no thought, just being,
Beautiful.
and I just went with it.
Nice. Nice. Stillness too, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Very good. Nice. Thank you for.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else want to share their experience?
Yeah, I found it to be very relaxing, which says a lot because you know that before I started on all this, I wasn't into meditating at all, and I found it difficult to relax. So I'm getting better at it. The only thing I can say about this time around is that Zoom is acting funny on my end, and it was breaking up at certain points. Yeah.
Okay.
But other than that, it was great.
Awesome. Laura's one of my clients, so thank you, Laura.
Sure.
You're beautiful. Anyone else want to share their experience? Okay. All right, everybody, this was really lovely. I don't know if you remember, but I used to do Soul Sundays at the beginning of this year until, I think it was until June, until I was in my diagnosis and feeling like I wasn't able to do it. But I'm considering bringing back a Monday talk instead of on Sundays, doing it every Monday. If any of you have a preference to Sundays or Mondays, I'm not expecting you to be on all calls, but it's something that I want to start again, my Soulful Sundays or Soulful Mondays. Just drop me a note or a message and just say, or put it here in the chat before we hang up, and let me know what you prefer. Those really seem to support people a lot, the Soulful Sunday. So I'm going to be bringing Sundays or Mondays back on a regular basis. All right, if there's nothing else, thank you all for joining me, and keep your eyes out for that unconditional love program coming up. If you have any questions on any of it, we also have the Spiritual Self-Love Immersion, which is a 4-month program. It also is, thank you, Ken, for Mondays. It's also my lowest ever and also my lowest program period, where it goes back up in 2021. It's a $4,000 program that I'm giving away due to this hard year for 11/11. So think about that. That's all about immersing into the spiritual avenues of self-love with spirituality. So it's really beautiful. Okay, let me check the messages before we hang up. Sundays is better, Mondays. Okay, perfect. All right, guys, thank you so much. Okay, thank you, Joanne. All right, everyone, have a beautiful day. And I'm here if you have any questions. Just write me and let me know, and I will talk to you later. Thank you.